beautiful people. This is Bobbie the Awesome, who's a little frustrated right now, if I'm being honest. I recorded a whole show about an hour and a half ago, and my technology is not cooperating. And I really just want to have my pissy pants on, to be honest, and throw the computers through the wall. But I'm guessing those aren't the right way to handle my anger right now. So I'm going to start all over, and I'm going to do the reading, and we can all laugh together about the irony, given how aggravated I am right now. Okay, so out of the Body, Mind, and Spirit book, it starts with a quote from Ernie Kay. Leave room for God to surprise you. If we always get what we want and things always go our way and people always do what we want them to do, we have no need for God. When we know what's going to happen, we become God, all-knowing. It is human to be disappointed when we don't get what we want. But when we dwell in our disappointment as if we should have gotten what we wanted, then we forget to trust that God may have something different in store for us. Many of us pray, "Thy will be done." But more often than not, when we don't get what we want, we forget it may be God's will that we not get it. We can only know the present moment. This is our life, all of it. When we worry about future wants and past disappointments, we don't leave room in ourselves for the present. When we let God take care of the future and live the best we can right now, we can feel assured we'll be ready for the better things that are in store for us. Today, help me to trust in your will. So I'm laughing because I'm like, all right, did I say something on my first recording that I shouldn't have? Or, you know, is the universe telling me I'm supposed to say something different now? Or is it supposed to teach me the lesson of patience and just kind of succumbing? Like, if this didn't work this time, I was going to walk away. And that would be disappointing because I thought a couple cool things came out of that reading. And obviously the biggest one, like, I got to live in the present, and maybe I didn't get the way I wanted by having this done an hour and a half ago so that I could actually do things that in my mind were productive. So maybe the universe is telling me to slow down. Maybe it's giving me just a little lesson to remind myself that it's really not that serious. Like, really, in the grand scheme of things, I literally sat here and did the serenity prayer. And in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't like a life and death thing. It was just important to me. So the other thing in the reading that just bounced in my head the first time was the song Unanswered Prayers by Garth Brooks. And it talks about how, you know, the guy wants the girl in high school and is, you know, was upset at God, or this is my interpretation, but was not happy he didn't get the girl that he wanted, the result that he wanted. And then years later, he goes to the high school reunion, you know, with his wife that was actually meant to be with him. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it. I didn't get what I wanted with that girl, but now I have a better life with this girl. And I think that it's a great message, and that's part of what I took away from the reading. The other thing that I want to call out is I think the reading is very good considering the fact that we have options right now. We could be stressed out about what's going to happen, you know, with our plans, our vacations, our, you know, the kids' education, all the things that are being impacted by the coronavirus. Or, like, we can be worried about that, or we could live in the present and figure out how to make the most of it. You know, whether it's the quarantine or the working a gazillion hours like the front line, like, if you have the faith that it's all happening for a reason, it becomes a little easier to swallow. I know that because I've had my positive pants, is that a thing? I've had my positive pants on for most of it. I've been grateful to kind of slow down. Although I've been feeling a little guilty because there is so much stuff going on. Everybody's like, hello, internet. I could do this and I could do that. And I can't keep up with all the activities that are going on. There's, you know, I can't even count how many GA meetings now a day. I know there's 2 a day just in my neighborhood, and then people I've met online have also sent me their itinerary. So you almost could get a virtual GA meeting any time of day at this point, or a call. I guess the same thing could be said for, Zumba too. And maybe that's this is part of why I'm a little frustrated, was because there was a Zumba class this morning when I was fighting with the computer that I now missed. So it's one of my little frustrations. Anyway, it's all happening for a reason. Maybe I'm supposed to not do my homework for a while, or maybe I'm supposed to just slow down. Who knows? I will tell you that it's much more calming and stress-free if we just accept that we can't change things, and that maybe there is part of a plan, or, that's the faith part. And I always go back to saying that that's what's different between my first couple of years of clean versus the past 3 years, is how my faith has kind of evolved, whether it's, God, universe, whatever. But that's what makes it different. That's what makes my mindset better. And the more I'm learning, whether it's through program and recovery stuff or business world stuff, it's all about the mindset. So I just had to recheck mine. And maybe that's the message I was supposed to tell you this morning, is it really does. It starts with our minds, and we can only control this moment. Yeah, maybe I need to remind myself of that. Maybe that's what I was supposed to talk about today. Anyway, it's Easter, and I hope everyone has a good day. I woke up thinking about how I can't remember really so many. I actually can remember more Easters being with my aunt and uncle when they lived in Connecticut, with the Easter egg hunts and the talks on the back porch and the really good family time, versus the last few years. I can remember my Easter in treatment. It's interesting to spend it with, 19 people you don't really know, or maybe you know too well from being locked up with them for X amount of days. So that one kind of sticks out. But the last couple of years, I'm guessing that I probably was home doing homework, because I had been signed up for classes the last couple of years. And interestingly enough, I keep hearing this message about how bad you want something, and the factor that this learning, this recording that I'm listening to, but it's the same in a couple of the books I'm reading and things going on. But the message is, how bad you want something, you can almost figure it out by what you're willing to give up. So do I want something so much that I'm willing to give up things I love or want to do or whatever? And I really like that, because it simplifies things. It's like, I want to do my podcast. I wanted to get it out this morning. Although I wanted to do Zumba too, I had to give up Zumba to do the podcast in this example. But it's the same way. I probably gave up Easters to do homework. I also remember another one where Davey and I were really crazy fighting. And I still don't know if he made it to Easter dinner that year or not. But I remember an Easter being really crazy that way. But most of my memories I have lost. So that's because we're on the second part of life. It doesn't really matter what happened in the past. It matters what happens today. And how today hopefully will impact everything else. And if it does, doesn't, it doesn't. Right? I'm powerless over it. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I will chat with you later tonight. Hopefully it's beautiful out where you are.